In this video, I will try to explain why Drakania Awakening suddenly become, one of the best options for PvE. I have to say that she's not S+ like Sackwitch, Sug Ninja, or other top 5 PvE classes, but she just after some certain changes, some independent changes, become 9 out of 10 solid, very nice, very strong PvE class. 9 out of 10 S tier, like top S or something. Without further ado, let's get into it and understand what changed. I'm live on Twitch, I'm live on YouTube. This is my Drakania, and if you guys want to see my Drakania on high graphic settings, go watch me on YouTube right now. You can see the Twitch chat on the left side on the screen. And there are some kind of, questions in my mind, where to start. What was the Drakania's main problem in PvE? DPS, cooldowns, maybe AoE, Dragon Blood slow, attack speed, and some other things. These were the main issues in PvE. And we just gave lots of feedbacks to PA. I just gave lots of feedbacks to PA to fix the cooldown issue. The Tectonic Slam and the Shift F, the extension was a problem. Let me just show it in game. They were problem, they are still problem. You're feeling that 8 seconds, but not that much. And also extinction, because all of the skills that you rotate, they are sitting on 6 seconds, but this one and this one is just making bottleneck. Never mind. I think we will just left behind them. Then the latest changes made class cooldown problems kinda solved. Not fully, but probably we will not use it. So what happened to the class? How can just that much bad class, B tier, barely A tier at max results, suddenly become solid S tier? Is that maybe you remember that we got 10% damage increase overall in that big puff. Is that just fix the DPS problem? No. The first reason, game changed the damage formula. Yes, you heard right, game changed the damage formula. So in that point, they just adjusted the damage, damage of the skills. At that point, she got approximately 5% damage increase, but also got the crit rate, critical hit damage thing to compensate it. But at that moment, probably with the new formula, class started to feel 2-3% more damage. It wasn't a big deal. But here is the thing, what changed and what actually made the classes just suddenly become good at PvE after the damage formula changes? I think that's the key factor. She suddenly become good at PvE. Her main goal in PvE is just you can deal good back attack burst damage. You have very nice back attack burst damage potential. You can just, change your position with a good cancels, and with that cancels, you can burst, you can deal good damage. Not every class capable to do that. You can do it, but you can just stay in slow mode and something like that. But you have that, for example, in Hexablood form, SF, Shift F, flow and cloud thing. For example, this you have, for example, there are lots of different variations in Hexablood. You can use it. In that scenario, almost 30,000 damage on this one, 15,000 damage on this, 20,000 damage, 10,000 damage, 30 and 45 and 75k burst damage instantly, in 1 second. I don't have speed buff right now. You see? It's pretty fast. So in that situation, it was a buff. Without buffing class, it was buff. We saw these, damage formula change in different classes too. In Awakening Kunoichi. Awakening Kunoichi suddenly becomes good class, isn't it? You can do good burst attack damage with Awakening Kunoichi, just behind and bum bum bum. And also the pet damage affected other classes. People asking me, 10-15% damage make Awakening Kunoichi S? That class was bad. Yes, Drakania was bad too. 10-15% damage increase it wasn't the only reason that class just become good. The back attack modifier suddenly become very strong in PvE because of the new formula. And that's why we're just, forcing people to just reach the AP cap and focus the back attack, thing with the deep sea or with your, combos and other things. Because of the 5% cap, That's why they made it probably the back attack burst potential just made classes different. And also pet damage can just, Drakania has no pet damage, but in Awakening Kunoichi, for example, the spin skill, it deals insane amount of damage right now. It's not insane amount, but it's very good. It was dead, now it's good. And it's independent skill. While you're dealing damage, it's also dealing damage. For example, Awaken Dosa same. If you quadro proc with a good crit rate, you're dealing good independent damage because of the pet things. They can deal back attack, they can get crits. They just, benefit from your attack. They just attack speed, maybe no, but maybe from your AP. So there are lots of independent things affected like these classes. And Drakania is one of them. The main big step is just, the damage formula changes and the back attack burst damage that comes from it. The second thing, of course, class got approximately 10% damage increase in her combo. Some skills got 15, some skills got 6%, 7%. If you guys watch my old videos, there was lists. I don't want to show it right now. The entire skill kit got approximately 10% damage increase. We did the calculations. We did the old nerd things. And so, what happened in the latest patch? Normally, this legacy skill form, this allows you to, get that Hexablood form and also Dragon Blood form. Your passive comes from this skill. When you have the red form, this form, you used to have 12 AP and 15% attack speed. But when you have the blue form, before, you had only 18 AP. But look at this, what you have. 18 AP and 15% attack speed. And look at this. In red form, you have 18 AP and 15%. So they merge the AP. They just take the blue's AP and they just take the Hexablood's attack speed. They merge them into each other. So now, right now, no matter what type of weapon form you have that 15% attack speed. Your Hexablood skills got almost no damage increase. It's nothing for you, but your Dragon Blood skills got 15% attack speed buff. That's the big W of this, class in the latest patch. What it provides in positive way, if we just talk about the positive things, like your DPS increase in the blue form. Also, another some kind of tiny and hidden thing that's, only like veteran Drakanians can realize that. The transition between blue skills to red skills to blue skills faster because the attack speed difference is always 15%, straight 15%. It's not going down and up. So the transition between the skills, it's even smoother right now, thanks to that. So, other thing I can say, let me think, is there anything? The bonus thing, this is some kind of, this is just AP buff and attack speed buff. This can stack with Z buff. Not every class has that opportunity. That attack speed buff can stack with Z buff. So when you have Z buff, your character turns into crazy. Don't worry, your DPS is still not like Witch Sack Ninja level, but solid 9 out of 10 DPS you have right now, which this class requires. Because this class is not a class that you can just, hello, tag it, play it, okay, I am the best. No, it just takes hundreds of 200s, 300 hours to just get used to class. Learn everything. What I'm suggesting to you, if you want to play Drakania, I will just, make another guide. I'm still waiting for the PvP related changes. I'm suggesting to you first go and watch the Drakania Bible. I'm calling it Drakania Bible. Go watch that video. I'll put that video link in the description section. Go watch it and learn and understand why we're calling this class is so hard. So just the most complicated, by far the most complicated class in the game. There are more than 80 flows and cancels that you need to understand how they're working, that we're using. Not all of them you're using actively, you're using maybe 30, 40 of them. But the problem is, because of the cooldown inconsistencies, when you have speed buffs, when you have the other things, you will have cooldown issues. When you have cooldown issues, you have to start to improvise. To improvise, you need to know everything about the class. If you can't improvise and if you stay with the brain dead combo, you can't get that S level of DPS. Maybe you can get 7.5 to 8. I don't know. But 9 out of 10 DPS, 9 out of 10 PV performance, I don't think so you can reach with the brain dead combo. But thanks God that with the new changes with the brain, even with the brain dead combo, you can get average DPS, which is pretty nice. Like, it's not bad if you want to play the class. This is not a class guide, I have to say that. Another changes that affected, like, we just say I just send lots of feedbacks to PA. Hey, PA, just fix that, fix this, something like that. Let me just say, if they wanted to even drag at some point, please leave that 18 AP and 15% attack speed. It brings so much consistency. It's great. Yeah, the consistency. Yeah, even the like weapon transition was sometimes feeling clunky because of a attack speed difference. Now it's so smooth. Like Swiss, when you log into game, you will understand what I'm saying. Another bonus thing that these 3 changes: Hexablood Savage Decree and Hexablood Stormpiercer. So to reach the highest DPS in the game, this skill and this skill, we're not using them. We weren't using them, but now we started to use them as filler or as finisher. What PA did, they just made the attack number 1 and 3's attack speed is just the animation speed is just increased. There is a skill. The 3rd attack just comes fast. We don't care about the attack number 1. We cancel it most of the time after some certain skills. And this SLMB's attack speed or an animation of the base speed of the skill is increased significantly, especially if you use it after certain situations, especially after Stormpiercer. Like this. It's pretty fast. I don't have attack speed buff, as you can see. It's pretty fast. So what made this thing? Normally, I was just asking to PA non-stop, fix that cooldown problem. The skills are, there's no skill. It's just, you have lots of skills and imagine that you're having cooldown problem. Probably they made these, they were non-stop buffing these skills. Maybe 10 times, 15 times. How many times they buffed these 2 skills? We don't know. Now they just buffed them again. This got 10%, this got 10% damage increase again. And they just speed up. Their animation gets speed up. And you know what happened? After Claw, normally if you use the Stormpiercer with SRMB, like this is Claw, if you just press SRMB, it starts from attack number 2 and then 3. But now, with the changes, there is a change. This that Consulate Claw change, so holding the RMB will combo that SRMB. So after Claw, if you just press RMB, it insta-cancel this 2nd attack, 3rd attack, and if you just keep press LMB, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd attack. There you go. You ready? There you go. So this is some kind of good transition and good finisher for some certain scenarios, if you don't need AoE. Because AoE is small in these skills like this. Because of that, take it slow. So we are using them as finisher or we are using them as filler. They're not main damage skills, okay? But thanks to the animations speed, and also the speed up, and also thanks for that another buffs, non-stop buffing skills, now the DPS feels okay. I will also make DPS chart. Just join my Discord, and when I just make that DPS chart, I will also, publish that in my Discord. You can find the Discord link in the description section or in the pinned comment section. And the other thing in the patch notes that we got today, this one, we didn't understand why PA did it. Literally, we have no idea. The Dragon Blood Sundering Rune increased the activation speed. So the thing is, this is completely nonsense buff. The activation speed is increased. I can feel it, definitely. But the problem is, we almost never ever use SF like this. This is not a skill that you use that like that. You cancel it after Legacy maybe. You cancel it after Savage Decree, after Flow of the Sun, after this one, after Aerial Burst, after Tectonic Slam, after Platinum Flame, after Doombringer. There are lots of ways to cancel that skill, and it looks like this when you cancel it. And that was the flow. We didn't understand. We are not using the initial activation thing. They just speed it up. Why did you do that? No one using the skill like that. We instantly go to front guard part. Like Dash use that, SESLMB use that, SE use that. We were using the skill like that. We used to use the skill like that. I mean, that change was completely nonsense. That's how it looks when you use it fast. There is no initial animation. Instantly cast the skill, the damage part. Because in the first part, there is no damage. There is no hit, nothing. Like, no one understood why they did it. It's PI, sometimes you cannot understand them. This is the part that the damage buffs. 10% to this one, 10% to this one. These are PV buffs, by the way, not PvP. Like, these are the main reasons why Drakania suddenly became like one of the, strong options. One of the strongest PV classes in the game. Of course, I'm repeating it again. It is not a class tag and play. It requires very long learning part. You need to study this class. Thanks God that you have me. You can learn from my videos, especially the Bible of the Drakania. You can just copy paste my combos. I will add more videos to YouTube. I already recorded for Zephyros. I will record for Tenebrome and some other spots. I will record for Darkseekers, Ash Forest 2, lots of spots. I'll try my best to just make all spots, grind all spots with Drakania. At least like simple grind for like 10 minutes. How you can grind, which combo you should use, which skills to prioritize, which crystals you can use, and etc. But she is not S+. She can only be S+ at a Golden Peak Cave type of spots because of mobility. She has the best mobility for that type of spots. But her DPS still behind of that, Sack Witch, Sack Ninja. And I'm totally fine. Please don't touch my class in PvE. Please, everything is perfect right now. Don't touch it. Okay, I don't want to see more buffs. I don't want to see my classes like in everyone's hand, because it will just make more burden to me, because it's not a class that you can tag and play and people non-stop, disturb me. Don't buff it more. It's totally fine right now. And I think that's all I can say. Do I have anything just add to that? No, like if you just watch this video until this moment on, what I'm expecting from you, just let me know what you think about this class. Class still just one of the worst options for PvP. Don't touch her for PvP. If you're looking for PvP, like no, you have lots of problems in PvP. Okay? She's so bad in PvP, especially in this meta. Unplayable, almost unplayable. So don't do that. Yeah, see you, and do not forget to like it. You know what we say? Do not forget, video is just a game, and now you can play Drakania Awakening PvE only.